Hello, Wesley Church family. This is James Ingold. I am your finance chairman, your stewardship chairman, but I'm here today to give you a financial update. We wanted to give you one of these midway through the year, and I decided to do it from one of my most favorite places in the world, the sanctuary. In fact, where I'm sitting right now, about 58 years ago, I was baptized at this spot. I was married in this room. I had to celebrate the life of both of my parents in this room. And so I've missed it. COVID's been tough. We've been out of here way too long, but it's starting to change and we're starting to come back. And you know, with all the uncertainties of COVID, developing a budget was kind of hard. I mean, it was very difficult. And getting through 2020. But 2020, we survived well. I'm here to tell you, financially, we were very solid in 2020. Because of a very generous congregation. I can't thank you all enough for what you did to make us get through that tough year. We did get a PPP loan for the government, so they helped us as well. The bottom line is we survived it. But we entered 2021 really not sure what was going to happen. The Finance Committee worked very hard, and we developed a budget which was almost kind of prophetic. We decided to pass a budget that was based on being in the building half of the year and not in the building half of the year. So the first 6 months was budgeted with very few expenses, knowing we wouldn't have that much other than administrative costs and the upkeep of the building. But then we decided back in November that we thought we'd be in the building the second half. Well, guess what? Here we are. But that budget was difficult. And, you know, we finally passed it with a lot of faith. And one thing that made it really difficult is we received about 43 fewer faith commitment cards than we did the prior year for $190,000 of prior year commitments. Well, that's about 15% of our budget. So the Finance Committee stepped out in faith and said, we're going to just pass this budget even with that unknown. Well, we're halfway through the year, and we are much better than we anticipated being. We're ahead of budget, which is fantastic. But it's because of you. It's because of this faithful, generous congregation that we have here at Wesley. In fact, the faith commitment cards that were received, the people that turn those in are actually ahead of schedule in their giving. Yeah, you heard that right. People have stepped up, and knowing the uncertainties of the people who hadn't turned in a card, they have really stepped up and given ahead of schedule. Now, in the summer months, that tends to fall back, we know. But thank you for your generosity, those of you who turned in cards. For those of you who didn't turn in cards, I want to thank you too, because people are still giving. The people who didn't turn in a card are giving faithfully. Now we're behind budget on that portion. So I am hoping as we get back into the church, because I know it's difficult when you're not coming to church to remember to put some money in the mail. Well, as we get back in, I really hope that those who didn't turn in cards will help us creep back up on the budget and get there. But I'm confident we will, because, as I said, I look out at these pews, and I just am always amazed at the generosity that this church comes through anytime there's a need. So, you know, I want to let you know that we're solid. We are way ahead of what a lot of churches would love to be where we are, sitting in the situation that we are. We have kept up with our conference apportionments. I can tell you there are many churches that are having trouble keeping up with their apportionments, and the apportionments are what helps the denomination worldwide. But we've done it, and we have never missed fulfilling 100% of those, and as long as I'm a chairman, I'm going to make sure we don't miss any. So count yourself very proud as a member of this wonderful church, and understand what you've done to keep this place going during such uncertain times. As a CPA, I've had a lot of clients that have really suffered during this time. So it was very nerve-wracking for me to sit there and try to create a budget knowing we may not be getting the gifts from people like they normally do. But you've done it, and I thank you. Now I encourage you, don't take this update as being that we're on easy street. We have to stay committed to our budget. The staff has been fantastic at keeping expenses down while they've not been in the building, but expenses are going to start ramping up. So it's not a time for us to just say, we're doing well because Ingold says we're fine. No, we got to be diligent, and we need to be good stewards of what God has blessed us with, and God has blessed this congregation richly. And as I was preparing for this update, one song, as you know me, I'm sitting at the place I love to sit at in this sanctuary. One song just kept speaking to me. Great is thy faithfulness. Because the words of that song just say it all. All I have needed, God has provided. And I think that's what's happened in this room. God's taken care of us. But I challenge you, let's finish this year strong. Let's get back to doing 100% of the ministries. We didn't cut any ministries in this budget. And that took a lot of faith and courage by the Finance Committee and the Ad Council. But great is thy faithfulness. I'm going to play this song because I've missed playing this piano so much, most of all. But also I hope you will kind of hum along, sing along, and think of the words. If you've got the words handy, sing along as I play this. Thank you, Wesley Church. You're the best.